First up, we got The Little Lies We Tell. I really tried to like this one because the premise is so wild, but it's just not that great. Long story short, one is an alien general, one is an ex-ninja assassin, one is a mind reader, and the other one is just some dude. Sounds fun, but yeah. It reminds me of like a Plastic Elder Sisters or like a worse Nichijou. It is basically just anime clip humor, right? There are funny parts, sure, but it's surrounded by mediocre jokes and just little to no animation. I can't put it higher than D tier, to be honest with you. Next up, we got Akiba Maid War, a mafia anime where the Yakuza are replaced with animal-themed maids. Yeah. This concept is hilarious for the sole reason that they fully commit to the bit. Like, this anime only works if everything is taken with 100% seriousness by its characters, and they nailed it. And because the jokes are so serious, this feels like if Quentin Tarantino made an anime. I don't know a better way to describe it other than that. If you've watched it, you would be like, holy shit, you're right. It's like Tarantino made an anime. It's over the top, inappropriate, and the surprise anime of the season. And of course, we get the 4 maids of the apocalypse: the gal, the rookie, the vet, and mommy. Yeah, I was surprised by this one, and I think it's A tier for sure. I think it's A tier. All right, then we got Beast Tamer. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be honest. I absolutely lost it when she said "tame me." The first episode was all I needed to see that this was just another middle-of-the-pack fantasy anime. It's been done 100 times before. He's gonna fall in love, have a harem of beast women, and then live happily ever after. And what is a power fantasy without a little forced taming thrown in there? Look, if you like this series, I'm happy for you, truly, but it isn't the first of its kind, and it probably won't be the last. It's not exactly trash, but I would put it at D tier. All right, now we got Bibliophile Princess. I have crowned thee the Disney princess anime. Don't get me wrong, this anime isn't really that bad. It's a romance anime where a book-loving girl gets to marry a prince. It's just that it feels too much like old school Disney. From the characters to the animation, the music, the story, everything just feels like it's just fluff. Again, nothing really wrong with it, as it actually does have really nice visuals. But I usually go for a different style of shoujo anime other than this one. I feel like I could have enjoyed it more if I stuck with it, but for now I feel like it's sitting at a C. Ooh, now we got our first big hitter, Bleach. As someone who hasn't seen Bleach, I feel like I am the perfect candidate to place its return on a tier list. I did watch the first episode. It was definitely good, even without context. And Bleach fans take a W this season. It's easily A tier. If I knew more about Bleach, I'm pretty sure I'd put it in S. But again, I haven't watched it, so All right, next we got Blue Lock. Ah, yes. Welcome to the Soccer Hunger Games. I get that they want to improve the national team and find the next best player, but like, is this really the best way of doing things? Who cares? It's fucking awesome. Isagi is, of course, like the blandest one of the bunch, but it does make me laugh whenever he tries to rationalize things before being just an absolute savage anyway. And I'm not a fan of like the Tamagotchi Squid Game type stories, but so far I'm loving this one. The powers of each character are kind of goofy, but I do like that direction, especially like the concept of inner monsters being the source of like all the greatest players' skills. Because I can definitely agree with the greatest players need egos argument that started this whole thing. Yeah, so like overall, it does have some visual issues every now and again, but honestly, I like the characters, I like the concept, and it's enough to get me invested in the series. I would put this at a solid B. Ooh, yeah, next we got Bocchi The Rock. Look, I have no reference to K-On, so please do not at me, but this is easily my favorite anime of the season so far. Like, hands down, even compared with everything else going on this season, I think Bocchi is an easy S tier. Bocchi herself is just the absolute best. She's introverted, she loves music, and most importantly, hates the thought of going to work. And it is low-key one of the funniest shows I've seen all year. This show uses so many different animation styles and cutaways that you really have no idea how they are going to tell a joke. They use real-life shots, rotoscoping, black and white, you name it. They are unafraid to go completely off-script just to make the joke funny. Easily my favorite was the barfing scene from episode 5. But there are some real emotions in between all the silliness, so I think this is one of the top tier animes that we've gotten, and you should definitely give it a chance. I'm leaving it at S tier. Oh, then we got the boy himself, Chainsaw Man. It's S tier. Do I really need to explain myself? Animation, characters, story have all been on par so far with some of the best. I do think it has some competition. It's not like fathoms ahead of other anime this season, but I have no real complaints about it. Also, Puchita's voice actor is Nanachi from Made in Abyss, so yeah, perfect casting. I believe this one is Play It Cool Guys. Guys being awkward? Who could ever relate to that? Not me. Oh, the being cool part? Yeah, no, that's not me. But I do like this series. It's fun and simple, and only being 11 minutes long makes it super easy to watch. Each guy has a slightly different embarrassing personality, but for the most part, they're all pretty much the same. Like, we have cool but doesn't know it, cool but does know it, cool but acts like he doesn't know it, and cool who acts like he knows it. If none of that made sense to you, don't worry, because it's just cute guys doing cute things. Like, if you're looking for a solid slice of life just to fill in the gaps with other anime, then this one's perfect, but it doesn't go too deep. It's just kind of there for enjoyment, so I would put this at around a C tier. Ah, yes, now we got Do It Yourself. I love this anime. If you want to know why I love it, check out my other YouTube video because I talked about it a lot. This one's going into B tier. All right, this next one is called Eternal Boys, I think. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, great idea. Let's remake One Direction, but with middle-aged men. Idol animes have never been my thing, so I'm really not sure how this is gonna go. The premise is interesting enough. An idol group is formed as a campaign for a huge company, and they use 40-year-olds as the gimmick. It seems like it could be funny, but I don't think the execution is there. Like, the first episode just establishes how down bad our MC is, and he just gets the job because his birthday is the same as the company's start date. Someone who likes idol animes may be better at judging it, but like, as far as first episodes go, I didn't hate it. It's just, I don't like that genre. So I'm gonna put it at C tier. For people who like the genre, maybe it's good. I don't know. I'm just gonna put it at C tier. Oh boy, I'm not gonna read the entire title, but it's the farming related skill one. It is the latest edition of Bargain Bin Walmart main characters. Honestly, I don't even want to waste my time on this one. The CG looks like straight claymation, and I kid you not, man defeats a dragon with a boomerang carrot. A boomerang carrot. There are better versions of this anime out there, guys, okay? Trashed here. All right, this one's for the degenerates. Immoral Guild. Come on, guys. We're only here for the plot. The plot. The plot. We're giving her the D tier. I'm not proud of my jokes. All right, next up we got the Witch from Mercury. Lesbian Space Wars? Okay. The Witch from Mercury is the... Hold on. Actually, The 15th mainline series of Mobile Suit Gundam? Oh, okay, yeah, so rest assured you don't need to have any prior knowledge of the franchise. We got big robots, we got big personalities, and we've got even bigger politics. But this time with whammon. As a fan of big transforming robots, you would assume that, yeah, I would like big laser robots, but I just don't. See, I dropped this initially because, yeah, I just can't get into Gundams for some reason. But I did pick it back up and have been steadily growing, well, indifferent to the genre. There isn't anything that stands out as bad to me, but I also can't tell you why I'm still watching. There's just something there. It's definitely an interesting series, and I can see why a lot of people find this entertaining. And I would put this up at B tier. It's a good Gundam show. The Human Crazy University. Who thought this was a good idea? This looks like it belongs on Adult Swim circa 1998. We got knockoff Rick Sanchez front and center explaining just absolute nonsense. If I could wipe this from my memory, I would. Please do not watch this. It is trash. All right, next up we got Iruma-kun. I love me some Iruma-kun, but I gotta say, this might be the weakest season so far. I do like how we get to spend a little more time with everyone from the Misfit class, but I just wish the actual Battle Royale aspect was a little better. I mean, you give the biggest cinnamon roll a goddamn javelin launcher, and you're not gonna have him use it to fight people? Also, I haven't been getting that sweet armory content, and honestly, that's what we're all here for. Still solid, still very fun. I'm just hoping that it gets a little bit better in the second half, but so far, it's a solid B tier anime. Oh god, Love Flops. This is the worst anime of the year, not gonna lie. The jokes are so cheap and there really isn't anything of substance here. You can enjoy it, but after seeing the dog scene in episode 1, I immediately said no. This one's just garbage. It's bad. It is bad. My Hero Academia. Holy shit! Did we expect it to be this good? Like, honestly? If you're a hater of My Hero, then that's totally fine, but this has been nothing but gas. Right out of the gate with insane action, suspense in every episode, and an ass the size of a mountain. And I didn't think anyone could beat out Lola for the best animated bunny, but Mirako? I'm pretty sure her thighs broke the internet that day and even gave us these pictures of Megan Thee Stallion. This is easily S tier and is the best season we've got of My Hero since season 2. Ooh, another great one, Mob Psycho 100. Can we just agree that Mob Psycho just had the best episode of 2022? Like, because episode 6 was it. Mob also seems to fly under the radar, mostly because it has slow starts to each of its seasons. It always focuses on building up to something, and my god, did it build up to something. Look, I didn't expect Coconut Head or Slimer from Ghostbusters to shred my heart into a million pieces, but here we are. Between the art direction, animation, and music, it has everything it needs to be successful. At the very least, it has to be considered the greatest adaptation of all time, because how do you turn this into this? One episode can't carry an entire season, but this one comes pretty goddamn close. I think I'm gonna put it at A. I think that it is, we reached the peak, and I don't know how the rest of the season's gonna go, but it is an A tier, possibly S tier. More Than a Married Couple. This one's like if you took My Girlfriend is a Gal plus the bad parts of Toradora. Students have to participate in the most unethical and questionable high school health class possible in order to prepare to be better partners in the future. And our wet napkin Jiro wants to be set up with his childhood hottie, but instead, gets the gal treatment and now has to find a way to not fall in love with this obvious setup. The main character gives off Kazuya vibes, and I just absolutely hate that. The woe is me, can't even talk straight, beta male trope is nothing new, but man, is it so annoying to deal with. Like, we get it, you're terrible with women. That's why you have two insanely hot girls trying to get into your pants. But let's be honest, the only reason we're here is because main girl is like horny Shikamori 2.0. If you just want more boobs for your buck, then this show isn't that terrible. Episodes do improve as the season goes on, but I feel like there are better versions of this show out there. And I think I'm going to put it at a C tier. I think it's a solid C tier. All right, I believe this one is My Master Has No Tail. Yeah, no, this one's not going to go many places. The premise is cute. A Tanuki wants to be a merry prankster, but comedy isn't the same as it used to be, so now she has to learn to be funny again. But the problem is, the comedy is still like classic Japanese spoken word performances, similar to like a one-man show, so it's not really meant for Western audiences. Meaning, you're not gonna find this funny. Which means we're gonna put it into D tier. Alright, I believe this one is Novice Alchemist. Ah yes, good old filler anime. An alchemist decides to open up a shop in the countryside and shenanigans ensue? Nah, never seen that before. Besides our main girl's parents being Batmaned in the first 30 seconds, this is just generic anime stuff. It's got a cute MC, an episode of the week feel, and plenty of wholesomeness to hold you over. See, I would put this at D tier, but I feel like newer viewers are going to enjoy it more, so please don't take that as a diss. Next up, we got Peter Grill. Honestly, the only good thing about this anime is the way that they say his name. Peter Grill. Trash. All right, next we got Pop Team Epic. Popo Team Epic. Just watch the clips on TikTok, okay? Don't worry about it. They are funny, but it's like a lot to sit through, so I'm putting them at D tier. Ooh, this is Raven of the Inner Palace. This is like a historical piece that begs the question, what if we had Scooby-Doo mysteries to solve? Now, obviously, this series is a lot more interesting than that. It has a supernatural element to it that can be used for any type of story that needs to be told. Obviously, though, main girl Ryu is carrying the show. She is adorable and strong at the same time, which makes for a great female lead, but for some reason, it just wasn't my thing. I'm not a huge fan of a historical setting like this, and honestly, I wasn't digging the other characters. The overall plot seemed cool, though. In the end, I did drop this, but I could totally see myself going back to it later. Possibly. Probably not, but still, I'm gonna put it at C tier. All right, Reincarnated as a Sword. Sword Dad is probably the best isekai this season. I mean, it's at least a toss-up, but this one I think is the best. I mean, yes, he turns into a flying sword that can basically destroy anything, but like, he has a cat girl now, and Fran is adorable as a little power-hungry murder kitten. The dynamic between the two is really well done in a genre that just seems to ship everyone together most of the time. But now we gotta cue in the repeatable isekai tropes. The enemies and other characters are pretty flavorless, and the whole video game system thing is really straightforward. I could see some of the skills being interesting, but so far our main characters are kind of just carrying the story. I mean, isekai fans are eating well with this one, but it's kind of middle of the pack with some upside going forward, so I'm putting it at C tier. Ooh, the only bingeable anime so far, Romantic Killer. This show is really close to being an isekai, as it's basically trapped in a dating sim, except the video game comes to real life? A reverse isekai. Anzu's reason for living, video games, chocolate, and cats all get captured in order for her to focus on romance. But nah, she doesn't want any of that, so she tries her hardest to be an absolute goblin at all times. To literally no one's surprise, her natural personality is what makes all the guys fall for her. Most of them are okay, but nothing really special. I actually like most of them as just staying friends. Also, like, the last few episodes do like a complete tonal 180. I don't know how, but I feel like it kind of worked. The gags are funny and the many faces of Anzu are a delight, but I feel like they went overkill on the sound effects. Like, most scenes involving Riri are just over the top with sound effects and it gets really, really annoying. I'm just like not a huge fan of the love interest, as it seems pretty obvious who they're trying to lean towards, but I mean, overall, I really like this series and I would probably put it into a B tier. Oh no, The Secrets of Mana. I'll be the first to admit, I took an L on this take. I wanted so badly for this to be good. I love the games and was so hyped for the remake on Switch, but this anime is just unwatchable. Awkward dialogue, wild character designs, and just stiff animation. Please, I'm begging you, just play the games instead. This is trash tier. And our other isekai, Eminence of Shadow. Finally, an isekai that asks, what if you put a Chunibyo into a new world? I never thought this concept would be so funny. Just the fact that our main character is so cringe, dropping one-liners, and actually backing up his words is hilarious. The action is also pretty well done, considering the genre tends to half-ass it sometimes. I've been enjoying this one, but I gotta say, what the hell was up with episode 1? Like, I get that it was a way to establish his character's backstory, but as a first episode, it was a little weird. And why haven't we spent any time with the side characters, like Alpha or Beta or any of the other Eminence of Shadow people? I feel like they would be good characters, and hopefully they get more time to shine. Yeah, overall, I think it's on the same level as Reincarnated as Sword, maybe a little bit better, but I don't think it's good enough to put up into the B tier. I think it's C tier, and again, it could be better towards the end. I'm enjoying the hell out of it, though. All right, now we got Shinobi no Ittoki. This anime right here is proof that Naruto would have completely flopped if they used the word ninja instead of shinobi. I literally cannot stand them saying ninja. It is just so corny, and it ruins most serious moments in this show. Which sucks because this had a chance to be a good action anime with an interesting concept. Rival clans with sleeper agent ninjas battling it out with futuristic weapons. Sign me up. Except almost all of these characters just suck. The only interesting characters, the uncle and Kosetsu, don't get nearly enough time as they deserve. And everything just feels very boring the more the story goes on. I don't know, just something about this anime didn't work for me, and I'm putting it in D tier. It was just not that good. All right, now we got SpyxFamily. Still good, but has fizzled out without a bigger plot line driving it. Like, we still have Anya absolutely carrying the show with her reaction faces and friendship schemes, but I do feel like without a bigger mission for Lloyd or Yor, we get into a slice of life side of things and it doesn't quite feel as good. I still like it, but after the introduction of Bond, we're just in a more laxed part of the series. So far it's been a B tier. To Your Eternity. I just thought to myself, ooh, this is gonna be sad. And it was. B tier. The oldest on the list, Urusei Yatsura. Oh, this bitch crazy. I thought we were done with sexy space women calling us darling, but Lum has come back into our lives after 40 years to steal that 02 shaped hole in our hearts. It's funny, well, as funny as 80s comedy can go, but I was surprised at how well this series is translated. Some characters are great, while some others are quite annoying. And also, the episode's concepts are just so outrageous. Like, don't expect continuity, just enjoy the silliness. And I was going in thinking that this was a romance, but my friend quickly told me that I should not get my hopes up. As a comedy, it's pretty good. I'm gonna put it at B tier. All right, now we got Uzaki-Chan. Safe for work Nagatoro got a sequel, and it's okay. Okay, is it just me, or has this just not been good? I don't remember much from the first season because, let's be honest, it isn't that memorable, but I feel like I liked it better than this season. It's almost like the characters feel bored being in their own anime. And I don't know how long I can sit through the, oh, I don't like him phase that this anime is going through. It just feels like we're going through the same cycles. There are some parts that make me laugh, but it feels like I have to sit through 16 minutes of generic rom-com just to get there. I think I'm just gonna put it at C. I'm teetering towards D tier, but honestly, I like Uzaki better than the D tier list. All right, lastly, we got Villainess. Trust me, don't worry about pacing because we're going downhill, full throttle, and we broke the handle off. I don't know how this stacks up to the other Villainess stories told, but the dating sim idea has been done a bunch. I'm not really loving the storyline, as the second half does do a complete 180 and it turns into an almost different anime. Plus, the main couple is the only two characters I care about. The rest are kind of just forgettable. Yeah, I'm still watching it, and it's just been kind of okay so far, so I'm gonna put it at C tier. There you go. This is my tier list for the fall of 2022. By all means, there's probably some you don't like, so just let me know in the comments. All right, so you sat through this entire video and you got all the way to the end, and you're telling me you haven't hit the subscribe button? Like, come on, it's literally right there. You've listened to my voice this entire time and you just never wanted to click that little red button? Like, just, it would mean the world to me if you just clicked the button.